When it comes to the many stories among television, comics, movies, and video games, there's usually not always that one figure that stands to oppose the protagonist. Not necessarily a villain to said character, but a foil and providing a different perspective to the main cast.
This archetype mainly can be geared towards a character who is a rival, someone who is truly there to show them how it's properly done, either by stealing their thunder or by getting rid of them. I would get rid of them. Why would I get rid of them? I don't know. I like getting rid of people.
They can also be there to provide a great dynamic that's not really seen with other characters. Sometimes there could be a little more, if you know what I mean.
Though talking about shipping here that doesn't involve Amazon isn't really my thing. I know that might disappoint many. Some could say I'm a cop for doing so. And speaking of cops, I'm here to talk about Carmelita Montoya Fox. Now, what was going on in the beginning there, you might be wondering? Well, to slightly poke fun at Carmelita having 4 different voice actresses, I had my friends help me with that, and I thank them for that. Stick around to the end for bloopers. Now, another question you could have for me is, which voice for Carmelita is your favorite? My answer is, none of them, because I like them equally. But enough dawdling. Who exactly is Carmelita? She's always there, beautiful, unexpected, and late to many crime scenes that happen around the world when chasing after Sly Cooper. Even though it's not really set in the games through cutscenes or narrative, Carmelita is better than what she's given credit for. A 4th-generation member cop in her family, graduating with top scores and grades at the police academy, and very soon being able to work for Interpol. More specifically, the investigation division of it. Again, not really shown in the games for her detective work too much, but in the comics, you get to see some of that, and it's pretty cool. Despite her rather abysmal aim, she's always gunning for criminals in general. It's been said that she has a very simple mindset when it comes to the crime tier list. The bottom area consists of jaywalkers and litterbugs. All the way at the top, that's comprised of literal psychopathic murderers and K-pop fans. They all have one thing in common. They are criminals, therefore need to be brought to justice. It's a very candid justice. But she's not cruel. When she captures Murray, for example, she makes sure that he's comfortable by some means, and only wants to bring him to justice from the fact that this purple-striped bitch is ruining everything for everyone, and mostly because, well, it's literally her job. Let's not forget about the fact that the Cooper gang are criminals. Criminals with standards, at least, because compared to the constant constellation prizes that she captures instead of Sly, she's somewhat grateful for it. Better than nothing, right? Which, now that I think about it, it's almost like Carmelita treats capturing those culprits as side quests, while chasing Sly is her main quest that she's been stuck on for literal years now. During the typical routine of chasing Sly, who got away as always, she had no problem going up against Mugshot right on the spot with no complaints. This dude's got no problems picking fights with pink hippos, Interpol, and a guy in a wheelchair, when he should be spending his time trying to pick up some bitches. But enough about the normal schedule that goes on in her life. Now would be the right time to talk about the shocking back and forth dynamic that Sly and Carmelita have. Immediately from the first scene that Carmelita makes her debut, it's said through context that she's already been hunting down Sly for some time now. We're not sure for how long, but maybe around a handful of months. She mentions the last time they ran into each other, but we actually have information on the very first time that they crossed paths. It's told through both of their perspectives. Carmelita claimed that Sly was only there to disrupt the event that was going on and stays on top of her job as an honest and diligent cop, while Sly was just doing his usual thing, stealing from those who have stolen. But seeing that he instantly had a crush on her, he returns the jewel and catches the real thief, basically doing her job for her. Again, the story is told through 2 different viewpoints, so for about 60% of it, you don't really know whose side is more accurate. However, by the end of it, it definitely favors Sly's side more, because that's just how the series has always been. From beginning to end of their relationship, Sly has admittedly always had a thing for her, but who could really blame her? Have you seen her? Now, with me saying that, allow me to immediately dispel any notion of me being of what you think I am. I am not a furry, if that's what you think. However, when it comes to these characters, I will definitely say that they get something going in me. And hell, the newspapers from the first game agree with me. Every time Carmelita is there to clean up the remaining mess and capture one of the Fiendish Five, the headlines are something that come from one of your favorite websites, if you know what I mean. Dude, that's kick-ass. I know, right? It's better that they made her hot than whatever the hell the original model was in the alpha version. Okay, moving on from Foxpoon, even though Cooper is on the opposite side of the law, Carmelita does comment that with his professional thieving skills and approach, Sly would be one hell of a cop. Well, that doesn't happen, not yet at least technically, and Carmelita won't settle for being a thief herself. So they meet halfway by at least helping each other from time to time to bring down a larger threat. I'm pretty sure that the massive killer owl who's a threat to the public mind and life is more of a dilemma than a raccoon breaking a bunch of glass bottles around the city. And there's even been times where Carmelita takes actions into her own hands. The biggest case being is when she traveled all the way to Kane Island to save Sly's life from being crushed to death. And it's pretty crazy that she found out that Sly happened to be there of all places. This means it's time for a little theory crafting. In episode 5, Dead Man Tell No Tales, at the end cutscene, Sly commented that this is the only time in his history that Carmelita hasn't shown up by any means, which makes me think that during that episode, she was actually getting her squad together for what was about to happen. Because, in the comics, we get to see Carmelita really doing her job. Part of which needs her to investigate to some degree. In the second issue, we see her able to put the pieces together pretty easily that the Cooper gang for this small little job isn't as refined as they usually are. And from probably chasing him around the globe and taking note that the jobs have been getting bigger and thievier, that means he's gathering a team for a very big heist. It probably wouldn't take too much time, follow some connections here and there, and research that the Cooper lineage has something tied to their name out there that Sly probably wants. And from the fact that Dr. M, another wanted criminal, owns the island, which already raises a few questions and probably could have just gone off of that lead alone. But I think you get the idea. Carmelita found Sly through basic detective skills. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Anyways, just like the prior two times, she helps and saves Sly from a cold heart of hate, an enemy fused for disaster, all to regain his honor among thieves. And it's fitting that she's always there at the final battle to lend a helping hand or the final blow. Just like Thomas Dolby said, "It's poetry in motion," and Sly said it perfectly.
Carmelita cursed herself for showing up too late to get a few shots in on Klokla. So she took it out on what was close at hand. The hate chip. And just like that, it was over. Without that core piece, that essential center of clockwork, there was nothing left. The parts aged before our eyes as if time had finally caught up with the ancient bird. How ironic that Carmelita, a police officer, would be the one to lift the curse from the Cooper family. The menace of clockwork would never again rise to threaten me or my children.
And even though it's from Sly's position most of the time, we can tell that Carmelita also develops a crush on the ringtail, so much so that she wants to put a ring on him. In the last-minute decision, with Sly moving in the way of a fatal attack, she takes it upon herself to kick the shit out of Dr. M, rightfully so, and then tells the now, quote-unquote, amnesia-minded Sly that they actually work together, and leave. And they just live happily ever after. The end. The one and only lie that she tells in the entire series, and it was to better another person's life, even though they were a criminal. That is quite the character development. And when speaking for gameplay as Carmelita, that starts off with the third game, and immediately you get to feel the rather pure strength that she has. Kicks that will break your teeth in, pretty much unlimited firepower, or well, shock power in this case, and a mega jump all at her disposal. It's no wonder that she was able to fend off against this literal monstrosity beast by herself. Even though I say that, let's just ignore the fact that she's been captured like 4 times Wait, I said I wouldn't cover thieves in time, so technically only 2. It's fine then. All is good. And as my friends say, arriba yo! It's all good, especially from the fact that in one of those times she says one of the best insults that I've ever heard against someone. I need to hear more of that sort of thing.
Inspector Fox, why fight it? Don't you want to be my friend?
No, you horrible 8-legged cow! No!
But yeah, that is pretty much the end of the Carmelita character analysis or overview. I know one thing that I should have added in this, I guess I might as well talk about this real quick, is, it's a little weird how, even though I say that she develops a bit of a crush on him, you see it in the first game, then especially in the second game and by the ending, but then kind of is a mix between the two in the third game, with her personality where she's not really into the whole chase as much. She just wants to capture him and then just kind of moves on with her day. It's a little weird that way, but it kind of ties back together by the end of it. So, yeah, maybe she was probably sick of being yelled at by her boss, who I'm pretty sure was, fucking kidnapped in that helicopter by the end of the second game. So that probably tilted her a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, stick around for the bloopers if you want to hear my friends fuck up them saying their lines. It's really funny. But yeah, you know what to do with all the links that I provide and everything of the sort. Thank you for watching. That's greatly appreciated, of course. Have a great day, have a great night, and everything else you know what to do. Bye.
Well, when it comes to the many stories among television, comics, movies, and video games, there's usually not always that one. Do it. Go. Right now. Faster, faster. Go.
When it comes to the many stories among television, comics, movies, and video games, there's usually not always that one figure that stands to oppose the protagonist, not necessarily a villain to said character, but a foil in providing a different perspective to the main cast.
No, you fucked up because I said the whole thing first, so I won.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I need to think.
You don't have to think.
No, I have to think.
There's usually, not always, that one figure that stands to oppose the protagonist, not necessarily a villain to said character.
Oppose. Don't slur your fucking words.
I know, I fucked it up.
You
I heard
said
it. Shut the fuck up!
All right.
Not necessarily a villain to said character, but a foil, and providing a fuck!
Yeah, not so easy now, is it?
Wait.
Feel it.
Can we do accents?
I don't
Wait, hold on,
care.
I forgot the
Racist
accent.
on YouTube. Go ahead.
Hey, I
No.
mean, Carmelita gets different accents.
That's true. She goes from being Hispanic to not at all Hispanic.
Okay, I can't do a Hispanic accent. Could do Southern.
What?
Kind of.
Kinda.
Agent Carmelita,
I
fuck.
just proved you can't. Stop. Just stop.
They can also be there to provide a great dynamic. Please, that's so good. Oh, that was so good. You don't even understand.